God says, "Beloved soul, listen gently and without fear, because this message is not about loss, urgency, or sudden endings. It is about understanding. Some connections in life are meant to walk with us only for a season. Their purpose is not to stay forever, but to teach, shape, and prepare us for what comes next. When a season ends naturally, it does not mean something went wrong. It means something has been completed." God says, "You may have noticed that certain relationships no longer feel the same. Conversations feel quieter. Effort feels heavier. The connection feels distant without conflict. This is not rejection. This is alignment shifting. When growth happens, some paths gently move in different directions. This separation does not come to harm you. It comes to protect your peace. Beloved soul, not every goodbye is dramatic. Some happen softly, without arguments or explanations. These are the most misunderstood endings. They can feel confusing at first because nothing bad happened. But clarity does not always come through conflict. Sometimes it comes through calm distance. God says, "You are not losing someone who is meant to walk with you into your next chapter. You are releasing someone who cannot grow where you are growing." This release is not punishment. It is preparation. When emotional weight lifts, clarity returns. Right now, Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of peace, not a messenger of fear. He is not announcing urgency or loss. He is protecting your emotional balance. He understands that separation guided by wisdom creates room for healing, clarity, and stronger connections ahead. Beloved soul, there were moments when you held on out of loyalty, habit, or hope. You tried to maintain balance even when it cost you energy. But listen carefully now, peace is not selfish. Choosing calm over confusion is not abandonment. It is maturity. You are learning to honor your inner state without guilt. God says, when a person gently fades from your life, it often means their role is complete. The lessons have been learned. The growth has occurred. Holding on beyond this point only creates resistance. Letting go allows life to flow again. Beloved soul, separation guided by peace does not leave emptiness. It creates space. Space for better understanding. Space for healthier connections. Space for emotional rest. This space is not a void. It is an opening. God says, "Do not fear this shift. Nothing valuable is being taken from you. What truly aligns with your life remains. What moves away does so quietly, without harm. Trust this process. It is working in your favor even if it feels unfamiliar." Archangel Michael remains near, ensuring that you do not confuse separation with failure. Growth often requires release. You are not being reduced. You are being refined. And refinement always feels lighter after resistance ends. Beloved soul, as this space opens, you will feel calmer. Your thoughts will become clearer. Your energy will return. This is how you know the shift is right. Peace is confirmation. God says, allow this transition to happen naturally. Do not rush to replace what is leaving. Do not cling to what is fading. Remain present. Life will introduce what aligns next at the right time. Stay calm. Stay grounded. What is moving away is making room for something more balanced. God says, "Beloved soul, now that you understand this separation is not an act of loss but an act of alignment, it is time to understand what truly happens inside you when something gently leaves your life." Healing does not always come from adding more. Very often, it comes from releasing what quietly exhausted you. When a connection fades without drama, it can feel confusing at first, because there is no clear moment to grieve. Yet your spirit recognizes the shift immediately. It feels lighter, even if your mind has not yet caught up. God says, many people stay connected to others longer than necessary because they confuse familiarity with purpose. Just because someone has been present does not mean they are meant to remain. Purpose changes as you grow. When growth happens, relationships must either grow with you or gently step aside. This is not rejection. It is natural order. Beloved soul, you may notice that after this separation, your emotional energy begins to return. You think more clearly. You feel less tense in situations that once felt heavy. This is not coincidence. When emotional weight is released, clarity has space to breathe. You are not becoming distant. You are becoming centered. God says, healing often begins silently. There is no announcement. No apology required. No explanation needed. You simply stop forcing something to stay. And when force ends, peace enters. This peace is not emptiness. It is restoration. Right now, Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of emotional balance, not as a messenger of endings, but as a protector of your inner peace. He does not rush separation, and he does not delay it. He allows what is complete to close gently so what is aligned can arrive without resistance. Beloved soul, release does not erase memories. It changes how they live within you. What once caused emotional reactions becomes understanding. What once felt personal becomes contextual. You see things as they were, not as you feared they meant. This understanding is healing. God says, do not judge yourself for feeling mixed emotions. Relief and sadness can coexist. Gratitude and letting go can exist together. This does not mean you are confused. It means you are human and healing honestly. Allow these emotions to pass through without holding on to them. Beloved soul, separation guided by peace does not leave you empty. It clears space for rest. Space for self-respect. Space for relationships that feel mutual instead of heavy. This space is sacred. Do not rush to fill it. God says, many people fear being alone more than being drained. But solitude that restores is far healthier than connection that exhausts. You are learning the difference now. And this awareness will protect you going forward. Beloved soul, as healing deepens, you will notice a shift in how you choose people. You will value emotional safety over intensity. Consistency over promises. Presence over pressure. This discernment is the gift of release. God says, peace is not passive. Peace is active alignment. It guides your boundaries. It informs your decisions. It teaches you when to stay and when to step back. You are learning to listen to it now. Archangel Michael remains near, ensuring that guilt does not pull you backward. He understands that release guided by wisdom does not require justification. You do not owe everyone continued access to your energy. You owe yourself honesty. Beloved soul, healing also changes how you speak to yourself. You stop blaming yourself for outgrowing situations. You stop replaying conversations that no longer matter. You accept that growth required distance. This acceptance frees your mind. God says, what is leaving you now is not meant to return in the same form. Do not wait for it. Do not reopen what has gently closed. Trust that closure arrived quietly because resistance was no longer needed. Beloved soul, as you settle into this clarity, you will feel more present in your daily life. You engage more fully. You feel less distracted. This presence attracts healthier experiences naturally. Life responds to openness. God says, beloved soul, after release comes alignment, and alignment always attracts what belongs. When something steps quietly out of your life, it does not leave you empty. It leaves you available. Available for peace. Available for clarity. Available for connections that no longer require you to shrink, explain, or overextend yourself. This is the phase you are entering now, and it will feel very different from what you have known before. God says, the people who enter your life after healing will not arrive with confusion. They will arrive with ease. You will not feel the need to prove yourself to them. You will not feel pressure to perform or adjust who you are. Connection will feel natural, steady, and respectful. This is how you will know alignment is real. Beloved soul, you may notice that your standards have changed. You are no longer impressed by intensity alone. You are drawn to consistency. You are no longer attracted to emotional highs and lows. You value calm presence. This is not because you have become distant. It is because you have become clear. God says, clarity changes attraction. When your inner world becomes stable, it no longer resonates with chaos. You stop repeating the same patterns because you no longer need the same lessons. What once felt familiar now feels draining. What once felt boring now feels safe. This shift is growth. Beloved soul, the right people will not rush you. They will respect your pace. They will not demand access to your energy. They will earn it through trust and consistency. You will feel seen without being examined. Heard without being judged. Supported without being controlled. God says, do not be surprised if fewer people feel close to you now. Depth does not collect crowds. It attracts truth. You are not losing connections. You are refining them. And refined connections are stronger, healthier, and longer lasting. Right now, Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of discernment, ensuring that what enters your life now aligns with your healing. He is not sending replacements for what left. He is allowing what fits to arrive naturally. His role is to protect your clarity, not rush your connections. Beloved soul, alignment also changes how you show up in relationships. You speak more honestly. You listen more carefully. You no longer tolerate emotional imbalance in the name of loyalty. You understand that loyalty to yourself creates healthier bonds with others. God says, the next connections you form will feel lighter because they are not built on unresolved wounds. They will not trigger old fears. They will not demand constant reassurance. Instead, they will feel stable. Predictable in a good way. Safe enough for you to be yourself fully. Beloved soul, you may notice that conversations feel more meaningful now. Less surface level. Less defensive. You are no longer trying to be understood by everyone. You are connecting deeply with a few. This depth brings fulfillment that quantity never could. God says, alignment does not mean perfection. It means honesty. Even healthy relationships require communication and adjustment. But the difference now is this: you are not afraid to express your needs. You are not afraid to set boundaries. You trust that the right people will respect them. Beloved soul, as healthier connections form, your emotional energy will feel more balanced. You will no longer feel drained after interaction. You will feel nourished. This is a sign that your environment is finally matching your inner state. God says, allow these connections to grow slowly. Do not rush intimacy. Let trust build naturally. Strong foundations are created through time, consistency, and shared values. What grows slowly grows strong. Beloved soul, you are also learning to enjoy your own company more deeply. You no longer seek connection to escape loneliness. You seek it to share fullness. This changes everything. When you are whole within yourself, relationships become additions, not necessities. God says, this phase is about mutual exchange. You give without depletion. You receive without guilt. You share without fear of loss. This balance creates harmony in your life. Archangel Michael remains near, guarding you from repeating old cycles. He understands that awareness must be protected until it becomes habit. You are learning to recognize red flags without becoming guarded. This discernment is wisdom. Beloved soul, alignment will also attract opportunities that reflect your clarity. Not just people, but environments, conversations, and paths that feel supportive. Life begins to cooperate when resistance dissolves. God says, trust this unfolding. Do not question why things feel calmer. Calm is confirmation. Peace is evidence. What is entering your life now is not meant to test you. It is meant to support you. Beloved soul, after release comes renewal. After healing comes connection. After clarity comes alignment. And alignment always brings what is meant to stay. God says, remain open. Remain grounded. What belongs to you will recognize you without effort. God says, beloved soul, now that alignment has brought the right people and experiences closer to you, something even deeper begins to settle inside. It is stability. Not the kind that traps you, but the kind that supports you. You are no longer waking up with the same emotional weight. You are no longer preparing yourself for confusion or disappointment before the day even begins. Your life is starting to feel lighter, not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer fighting against yourself. God says, emotional security grows when you trust your inner guidance more than outside noise. You no longer need constant reassurance. You no longer question your worth when someone misunderstands you. You understand that not everything requires a reaction. This understanding protects your peace and keeps your energy steady. Beloved soul, stability does not remove challenges. It changes how you face them. Instead of panic, you respond with clarity. Instead of self-doubt, you respond with patience. You no longer see obstacles as signs to stop. You see them as moments to adjust and continue. This mindset changes outcomes quietly but powerfully. God says, life begins to feel more manageable because your emotions are no longer scattered. You are present where you are. You focus on what is in front of you instead of worrying about what might happen next. This presence creates calm. Calm creates confidence. Confidence creates stability. Beloved soul, this stage is where peace becomes familiar. You stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. You allow good moments to exist without suspicion. You enjoy rest without guilt. You begin to trust that stability does not mean boredom. It means balance. Right now, Archangel Michael stands quietly as a guardian of this foundation. He is not warning you of loss or urging you to move faster. He is protecting what has been built within you. He understands that when peace arrives, it must be allowed to deepen without interference. His presence is steady because this phase is about strengthening roots. Beloved soul, emotional security also changes how you speak to yourself. You stop criticizing your past choices. You stop replaying old conversations. You accept that growth required distance, patience, and time. This acceptance frees your mind and allows you to move forward without dragging old weight behind you. God says, your confidence now feels calm instead of defensive. You do not need to prove anything. You trust your values. You trust your pace. You trust that what belongs to you will remain without force. This trust creates a quiet authority that others can feel. Beloved soul, life becomes simpler when you stop over-explaining. You communicate clearly. You set boundaries without apology. You choose honesty over harmony that costs your peace. These choices do not isolate you. They attract respect. God says, stability also invites gratitude. Not forced gratitude, but natural appreciation. You notice small moments more deeply. You feel thankful for calm conversations, restful nights, and steady progress. This gratitude anchors you in the present and prevents you from chasing what you do not need. Beloved soul, you may still have goals and dreams, but they no longer feel heavy. They feel possible. You approach them step by step, without pressure to rush. You understand that slow growth protects what you build. This patience keeps you grounded even when progress feels subtle. God says, this lighter way of living is not temporary. It is the result of alignment, release, and self-respect. You earn this stability by choosing clarity over chaos, honesty over avoidance, and peace over performance. Beloved soul, relationships now feel more balanced. You give without depletion. You receive without suspicion. You no longer feel responsible for managing everyone's emotions. This balance allows connection to feel nourishing rather than draining. God says, the peace you feel now is not a pause before another storm. It is a foundation for everything that comes next. From this place, you will make better decisions, attract healthier opportunities, and experience life with more ease. Archangel Michael remains near, ensuring that comparison does not disturb this calm. He understands that your journey does not need to look like anyone else's. You are moving at the right pace for your growth. Honor it. Beloved soul, you are no longer surviving. You are living with intention. You are not waiting for permission to feel okay. You are allowing peace to exist fully. This is maturity. This is alignment becoming real life. God says, stay grounded in this foundation. Do not rush ahead searching for intensity. Stability is preparing you for expansion that will not overwhelm you. What grows from peace lasts longer and feels lighter. Beloved soul, this chapter is not the end. It is the ground on which your next chapters will stand strong. Remain calm. Remain present. What you have built within you will support everything that follows. If this message brought peace and steadiness to your heart, type Amen and receive it gently. Stay connected, alignment continues.